This is Irontrader. It is Thursday morning. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, and natural gas. And we'll take a look here at the old NQ, which is up about 262 right now. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell any stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Here we have Bitcoin daily and weekly chart. Now we can just take a little peek at this. Look how nice this is looking. Now the 8-day here crossed over that 21-day, which is very, very nice. And now we're heading towards that 50-day. Now you can see here for the last 4 days in a row, we got below the 50-day, but you notice that we closed right above, like birds on a wire, sitting right there on above that 50 SMA. That's why you trade the charts. Now today came right on down, and now we made a nice higher high. Okay, so what we're looking for, obviously, is to today's high, 118, 295 level. So all you have to do is come over here to the left of the chart. Okay, what do we have? 118, 350. That is going to be your next upside target. Now, next, we go in line. We come up here at 119, 810. We'll come up at 120, 755. And then we always look to the left here, 121, 255. And then we come sticky at 122, 995, 955. And then we're going to come over to the left of the chart here. This is going to be key resistance. We need to close over this, 123.615. Then we can hit the top of that at 123.755. And then 125.200 is your breakout, which is always what you want to see. Now, again, if you close above that, you're going to go 130, 135 area very, very nicely. Now, we're only sitting at 56, so this got plenty of room to run. The green is over your red, shows good momentum to the upside. And we are looking very, very nice here. Now, on the downside, well, we really want to just hold this 50-day on a closing basis at 115,982, and we want to hold that 115,494, and then we have your 21-day at 113,455 level. Okay, so those are all your key levels of support, but as long as we're holding that 50, we got sideways to up action. Okay, so we have this nice, good bowl going on here. This looking very, very nice to go much higher. Okay, weekly chart. Well, you can see here how nice it held the 21-day, now back above the 8-day so far for the week. So by Friday, we want to make sure that we hold that 115, 157, and that would give us a good shot at this double top situation, which we need to, break through. Okay, that's a key level at that 123.615, and then that 125.200. We crack above that, I say 130, 135 is where we'll be aiming. Now, we look at here, you're like 62, that's plenty of room to run. The green is below your red, but now you can see where we have a sideways action. And the chart is looking beautiful, okay? Low, higher low, higher low, higher low situation. So right now here, I'm long the BITX, and I'm also trading the BITX. And I say she's looking very, very nicely here. Now remember, on BITX, if you're in by the 25th, they're paying 62 cents a share, and you'll get a payout every month here, and this month will be on the 28th. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Here we have gold. Okay, now you can silver on the right. Okay, so you can see here how a really nice, good uptrending chart. And look at this, okay? Look at this. You can't beat that. All the way on up here, had that consolidation, and then she broke right on out. But the key is right now here, we get into this little bit of a, not a little bit, a real overbought condition. We got to see how that's going to shake out here. But now you can see where it sold right off here today. However, we're hanging right around that 8-day simple moving average. And that's really the key, that 36.92. You have to hold that. If we lose it, we go to yesterday's low, 36.79, and then today's low at 36.67 level, okay? Then we'll come right down to the bottom here, 36.51. Top of that candle, 36.92. And this followed candles, 36.21, 35.95, and 35.73 level. And we'll come right here, lines up pretty nicely here with the 35.79. Obviously, we lose all that there, then we'll be looking to the top of that candle at that 35.34 level, and then we can come down to the 50-day. But right now, okay, just because you go below it, you have to make sure that we close back above it, and then we just have this nice consolidation going on. Now, upside, we want to look at today's high, obviously 37.07 level, okay? So we look at the top of that candle, 37.15. And then we look up top of there, we're looking at 37.24, and then we have 37.44. That is going to be your big breakout. You crack that, obviously 37.50, and then you head to that 3800 mark. But remember, we're way overbought kind of a situation here. The green is still above your red, but if that rolls over, just be careful here right now, unless we can hold that 8-day and we can crack back above that 37.44 to take it higher. If not, we're going to come down here and have a little correction. I don't think gold is nowhere near done. I just think, we've had a really good run in it. All right, silver. Now, let's take a little peek at silver. Got the same scenario, except this one here is just below it. Okay, the 8 day is going to be everything on the upside, 42.24. Okay, we get above that level here, then we just come right at 42.29. We have 42.35, and then we just start working yourself up to 43.04 level, 43.23 right here, and 43.43. That's going to be your big target area. Okay, but what we want to do is always look at the previous day's candle. So we want to look at that 42.94 on the top, on the high side, and at 41.48 on the downside. That's going to be very critical. So if we lose that level, then we're going to come right to the bottom of this candle at 41.14, and we're going to head right for that 21 day sitting at 40.86, and then we can come all the way down to that 39.31 level. But right now we're still hanging this sideways, and realistically, yeah, we're below the 8 day, but right now we have this really nice, good support level going on right here. So if we just take the bottom of that candle, that 41.08, as long as we're holding this level here, we're still very good on sideways to up kind of an action. Now, you can see how we got a little bit over extended here, a little overbought situation, came down, now it's still trying to work it, but the green now, if that can go over that red, that will show momentum there at the downside, and the price will come down to at least down to that 20-run day, possibly down to the 50 SMA here. But right now, we just watch the bottom of that candle, 41.08. As long as we're holding that level, that means we're doing sideways action, which means we could still have this higher situation. So on the upside, just watch that 8 day, very critical. And then we can maybe look at yesterday's high, possibly at that 42.94, and the retest 43.43. Obviously, you crack that, you're going to go to 44, and I believe you're going to go to that 45 level and possibly run up to the 50 day if you can break out of this structure right here. Again, here on the gold, just watch that 8 day. That is going to be everything. You've got to really hold that 8 day on a closing basis. If not, you could come down and retest this 21 day, and then we'd have to see what the reaction is once you get there. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil and natural gas. Here we have the old crude ski, and then we have natty gas. Now remember, natural gas, the EIA report will be out today at 10:30. Okay, here we have crude oil. Okay, so you can see here we had this really nice run up, and we got hang around the 100 day, and then we have that 50 day, which obviously it couldn't get above. Now we're still sitting, okay, even though we made a lower low, we're still back above that 21 day and that 8 day. Okay, so it's hanging on here. It's hanging on. So on the downside, watch that 63.55 level, 63.37. That's going to be very critical. If we lose that, you want to come to the bottom of this candle, 62.89, 62.52. Come to the bottom there, 62.21. 61.69, and then 61.45. That is a big retest. Okay, but right now here we had this nice double bottom. Okay, 61.45, 61.45. We ran up almost like a bear flag situation, came down, same kind of a scenario. But again, we're still holding that 21 day and that 8 day. Now upside, bottom line is going to be this 64.44, that 100 day and this 50 day. Okay, that's going to be very critical at that 64.78. If you can get above that, then we got the 66.03 and then 66.99 level. 66.03 is basically just the top of that candle. Okay, very easy. But we have sideways action. It doesn't really know exactly what he wants to do. Now again, hurricane is developing there, but unless it goes into that Gulf area where you have a disruption of the ports, of the platforms, that will disrupt crude oil, natural gas, and gasoline. But if it doesn't go in there and it comes right back up the coast, well, then it's not going to affect that kind of, as you know, it'll affect the people, the housing, and all that kind of stuff, but it won't affect the old energy sector here. Okay, so right now you're sitting at 49. That's not overbought or oversold. The green is over your red. So actually, this isn't really looking too bad, but this is just a trade. Okay, UCO for the long I use, SCO for the short until we lose this 61.45. Then it's balls out short until we get to this level right here, which is 59.74. That possible level, 57.74, and possibly 55.12. Now, natty gas. Okay, natty gas is holding in here very nicely. Okay, bigger up nice. Okay, came right on down. Yesterday we had this topping tail. Where did we go? We went to 3.16 level. See, so I got to look to the left of the chart. What do you have? 3.16. Okay, so then when we hit this level, 3.13, all you have to do is look to the chart. What do we have? 3.13. See how nice that works? Okay. Everything you need to know is always to the left of the chart. Right. So downside, we're watching that 50 day. Okay. 305. Then we're going to be watching that 8 day at 304. And then if we lose that, you're going to come to the top of this candle at 3 flat. And then we have 296. We lose that, you're going to come right down to the bottom here, 286. Then we come here, 277. There's your gap. Top of that candle, 274. Bottom of that candle, 265. Retest, 262. Okay. Very simple. Now, we have to get back above yesterday's high. That's going to be the key, and we want to go and see what happens if we can get up to this 3.19 area. Now, remember, this is natural gas, and anything can happen. Okay, so if we can crack that 3.19 level, we have to see what the reaction is. Is it going to be the same as this? Okay, and then come down again? Is it going to be the same as yesterday, or is it going to break through that 3.19? If it does, right there's your target, 329, and then we have 349. Really, really nice, good trading in natural gas. Okay, so it's a two-way trade for me. UNG for the long, KLD for the short. Now, I haven't been in this time frame. I'm not shorting anything because natural gas is going to be coming into their own. You get yourself a cold winter. This is going to run. Natural gas will rally up here until at least till the end of November, kind of a situation. Okay, so if you want to check it out, I got seasonality charts. I did a video there a couple weeks back, or you can go on my playlist. I got seasonality charts on there, or you can go to equityclock.com and get yourself a nice big broad look of anything that you want to look at seasonality wise. All right. So right now today, what we're watching, 50-day on the downside, 8-day on the downside. We lose that, we got the 21 days of target. Okay. Upside, we're looking here at that 313, 316, and 319. You crack that, we have the 100-day. All right. So 54, that's not overbought, oversold. We got plenty of room to run. The green is over your red. This is still looking very good. And now we had that downtrend, but now we're trying to break this downtrend. That's going to be the key. We crack above that 319. We're going to break that downtrend, and we're going to send this bad boy higher. All right, let's take a look at the NQ. Here we have the NASDAQ futures. Now you're up there 285 today, okay? Very, very nicely. She just keeps it on running. All right. So obviously they like what the Fed, traders like what the Fed had to say yesterday. They cut a quarter point. His language looks like he wants us to be cutting some more. He's got 2 more meetings, so maybe you can cut another quarter and another quarter. We got to see how that's going to shake out. But again, they like what they heard. The market came down, and then at the end of the day, it rallied right back up nicely. So always listen to not just the Fed, what they say at 2 o'clock with the cut, but always look at the language at 2:30, and that will give you the good gist on going forward. Okay, so what we need to do is you got to close back above this rate level at that 24,647. Now we can hit a high today at 24,751. I really believe that on the Nasdaq. They want to take this bad boy much higher. Okay, I want at least 25,000, and then we got to see what it is. Okay, so a downside, just watch that 8-day 24,273, the 21-day at 23,819. 817, I mean, and then 23,579. And then we just follow the price channels, 23,205, and then this will be a key level right here, 22,775. And then we have your 100-day, and we have your 200-day. Now, again, this is a trading situation. Okay, this was the buy and hold. See how overbought we got. Now we're right to this, oversold we got. Now we're right to this overbought situation like we had here. But that doesn't mean it can't just keep running higher. Okay, but again, just be careful up here in this time frame, end of this month, all the way to the first couple of weeks of October. Okay, so just trade this market. It's just an excellent trading market. I mean, everything is ripping up here nicely. Nvidia's back up here again. Damn, my TQQ's up again. Amazon's ripping. Meta's ripping. Microsoft is ripping. Apple's is moving. Netflix is flat because when the market goes up, okay, Netflix seems to just stay flat or go down, kind of a situation. Palantir has got a nice good jump up here today. Tesla's moving. So there's a lot of really, really good trades. So don't let this scare you off. You just use stop losses and take profits. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here midday trading, and we'll take a look at some stocks. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.